Email us today for a free catalog to browse all of our traps and snares, baits and lures, and much more. Get all of your trapping and predation control needs by emailing to info@NorthAmericanTrapper.com for your free catalog. Proven products equals proven conservation.
Well, I'm starting off here in Illinois this year. We got a pretty good spot right here. This is just a little edgeway that goes down to the bottom, and you can see right here it's got a field edge, and we have this cut through. It's maybe 40 yards, 50 yards worth of a little gulch, and it goes up in through there. You can see the field on the other side. I actually caught a coyote over there last year in that corner. We are going to go over and set that. I'm going to show you that. And I caught a bobcat there. But this is a perfect spot that I talk about a lot. This is a cut through. You can see it's a deer trail, but the coyotes are going to cut right through there. As a matter of fact, that's a perfect spot for a snare if it's legal in your state. Right there along that tree, it'd blend in nice with that tree there. But there's a trail there, and there's also a trail right there. But they're going to cut through, and you see it's really sunny out, but I actually have my winter gear. It may look warm, but it's not. It's in the teens. It's supposed to get down to 0 tonight, and my hands are already cold, and I'm just getting started. But this is a perfect location. This gulch, as I said, goes down. It just, they're gonna hunt up through there, hunt up and down. Over on the other side, as I said, I caught that coyote last year. I've caught coyotes over there before. I caught a bobcat over there, but you can see these trails are gonna work through here, and that's exactly what you want. But ultimately, it's cold. It's going to be cold for the next probably 3 or 4 days, and we're going to get some of these sets in. But just another location. Make sure you work these gulches. I know we've shown it before, but we're going to put one right here on this edge where the trail comes out, and that'll be our first set going in here this year. And I always look forward to this. I think this is the 4th year we've been back here to Rocky Branch Outfitters, and we're going to give it the good college try. We're going to put 4 sets on this farm. I'll show you all 4 of the different locations and the reason why we're putting these sets here. And then as we move forward, anywhere across the country you have these locations, you're going to be able to be successful and get some sets in the ground as well. Well, I got the first set in there. That's right on this path coming out, and you can see I blended it in pretty good with some snow, and we got our wax sand, and that's gonna fire if one comes in there to work it tonight. So first one in the ground here in Illinois. As I said, it looks warm. It's not warm, it's cold. But that's good, because that means the coyotes are going to be running too. So we're going to go over there. We're going to put one where we've caught coyotes and bobcats, same spot. It's actually, I think, the best spot on the whole property. We're going to put one there. I'm going to actually show you how I put that one in. We'll put it in pretty much the same way as we've done here. We'll put one on the other side here on the other edge of this gulch, and then we'll put one down at the bottom where I've caught coyotes before too. And that's one of the things, when you do trap an area, or you trap your areas year in, year out, you really start to learn where the animal traffic is traveling, and it travels there every year. I've been in here before. I've had sets all over in this area, and the same area, the same set is what hits year after year. And that just tells you don't even need to waste your time setting those other areas, because the animal traffic's going where you're catching them. So we got us a really good set in here. I'm really happy about it. It's exactly what we want, and that's one in the ground, and Many more to go, but right on this trail coming out of this gulch. This is the spot right here. We just put that one across, but literally right here, this point right here, I just feel this is the best spot on the whole property. Those coyotes, bobcats, whatever, they're gonna come right out to this point right here, sit on the ground and just oversee the territory. And you can see how it's right on this point where it comes up through. I've caught coyotes here a couple different years. We caught a bobcat here, but you know, find the spots on your property where you are catching critters, and that's where you want to be every year. This goes out, you can see there's a little path through this thick stuff, but it comes down off of this little point, and you can see that we are right where we need to be. And we've set this year in, year out. We do fantastic here on this property. It's just a nice spot, and right here is the point where we want to put them, and they're going to work around this corner. They're going to work up and around, and they're going to be here overseeing the field. But whether they come up or come down, this is the spot, and we're going to put one in here, and hopefully we'll have something to show you. We've had something to show you here every year we've set it, so hopefully that continues this year. Well, we're going to put this in here. I told you it's freezing and I don't have my spade, so we're just going to chop it in with a pickaxe. That's really all you need to do. I just made my bed right there that easy. So that's good. We're gonna, you know, this is actually January and they're in mating season. I want to use a lot of walkthrough sets, but there's really not a distinct walkthrough right here. It's gonna be a dirt hole, and that's fine, but it doesn't matter. They're still gonna work it when they smell it, because it is cold. And the only thing is I hope that no big bore raccoon comes through here before the coyote does, or I'll end up having the raccoon ruin this set. As always, we want to get that dirt hole as deep as we can, which is exactly what we're doing right here. I'm gonna dig out. I can't dig it out because the ground's froze. I gotta use this. That works. All right, now we go. That's what we need. We're using our wax sand as usual in these conditions. That's what we're gonna bed our trap in so it doesn't freeze. That's good. Take our stake and drive that in. As always, bed your trap properly. Make sure that it is stable. You gotta have a stable trap, because if you don't have a stable trap, you are not going to be successful. But get that bedded in there to where there's no wiggle, no wobble, and that's exactly what we want. That's pretty stable. Get some more sand, put that around the edge. Biggest thing, bed that trap properly. Make sure that there's no wiggle, no wobble, no anything, and you're good to go. And that is the key to being a successful predator trapper, and that's bedding that prep properly. So we'll get it covered now. Some of that dirt, mix some of the dirt and in with the wax sand, and that'll give us a nice covering over the top. Find our pan, work that around. Right there's the pan. That's exactly what we want. Get this dug out again, the hole. Going to use that as our backing. That'll be fine. And that's really all we need right there. And that's a really good set that will get the next critter that comes down through. Gotta take our mountain man bait, get a good glob of that, put that in there. That's good. These I'm not used to using these big thick winter gloves to make sets. It's kind of cumbersome today with trying to maneuver what we're doing there, but we'll get by. Better be warm than sitting here freezing. And I just popped the lid on this madness, and if I can smell it as soon as I pop the lid, I guarantee you that every critter coming down the road is going to be able to tell what that is too. So that's that, and that set's pretty much done. I'm going to blend it in a little bit once I get this stuff out of the way, just to make it look a little bit more presentable to my eye. I don't think it really matters a lot of times to the critter. I think they know you're here. That's why I don't worry about scent. That's why when I chew Copenhagen, I'm always spitting around the sets. Like right now, I don't worry about it. Those critters know you're here, and I'm just gonna, for my own sake, make it just a little bit more presentable to my eye. But like I said, I don't even know if it really even matters, but that's pretty much it. The one cool thing, I know this is exactly on location. Right around this turn, right around, those animals are gonna be looking down through there. They're gonna be working up through here. They're gonna be hunting in here. We're gonna go right across this path and put one on the other edge, exactly across from where we put the first set in. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, kind of a straight line across. The other set that we put in is behind me. And then we'll put another one down at the bottom where it cuts through, where I've caught coyotes in previous years. So it's pretty well good to go. I like it. Well, I just put this third set in, and I didn't make it to the corner or the edgeway over there. I just couldn't pass this up, and you'll see why. But you can see there's a little 2-track and it goes through the brush right there, and I'm on a 2-track here, but they meet right here. Now that big tree over there is right where I just put that other set, but these 2 tracks meet right here. They're gonna run, and I put a nice walk through right here, and you can see that walk through right there. We got it to where if they come down that side, they come from behind the camera, or they're coming from there, we've got them covered right there on that walkthrough. I got some Mountain Man over here on the right, I got some Madness over here on the right, and I got some Territory right there on the left. So we got our 3 cents for our walkthrough. that we always do, and it's literally right on the point. Quite honestly, that little set right there could catch them in a blind set because we're cutting off the corner. They would actually kind of step there anyway, but just a beautiful spot right here on this little cut through where it breaks away on the point. We got a nice walk through right there, and that's exactly what we want. We're gonna have 3 really good working sets in a straight line right here. We got the one behind us we showed you putting in. We got this one here, and then as we walk up this trail, you can see over there across those gulch to the snow that you can see in the field. That's where the 3rd set is. And this 2-track comes out right there. We got it on the corner, and even though it's cold today, I'm starting to warm up, getting more set. Every set I put in the ground, and I'm not warming up because of the effort, I'm warming up because of the mental. I got more sets in the ground, I got more chance to catch some critters. But just a beautiful set, as I showed you. They work down this trail and they get to right here and slam on the brakes. Boom, we got it waiting for them. So good set there, good set there, and one behind us across the gulch. And we're gonna go down below where we caught a coyote. We didn't catch any there last year. We caught one 2 years ago there. And I'm gonna put that set where they cross over. We'll show you that location. But these 4 sets, we're gonna have some action at them if the coyotes and the bobcats are running, which I think they will be because it's cold. Well, here we are on this crossover. I just put a set in here. You can see this is exactly where we caught the coyote 2 years ago. You can see that trail that goes across. It basically cuts this point off right here. That point comes down, and this is the shortcut from this field to that field. You can see up along the edge, and then right at the top of the field there on the left of the shooting house is where we put the one where we caught the coyote last year, and then we put the one walk through and about straight up from here, and we have the other one over there on the other side. So we've got 4 really good sets in here. You can see this walk through. I've got it blended in nice. We got the 3 holes, Mountain Man, Territory, and Madness as usual, but right on that trail. And you can see some old tracks there. I can't tell if they're deer or coyote or what, but that is a trail, and we got a set waiting for them right there when they come in to work it. But just awesome. We're getting started. This is the first location. We're gonna be heading out now. We're gonna start the farthest way out, and then we're gonna work our way in. So I'm not gonna set near camp today. There's no way I'm gonna get there today, but we're gonna start out, and we'll come out and check these on the way tomorrow. And who knows, first night we may connect, may not, but I guarantee you we'll have something. We may not catch them, but we'll have something come by one of these 4 sets in the next 4 or 5 nights. And we've got it set up pretty nice when they do, right there waiting for them. So pretty awesome, beautiful day. As I said, cold, but still a beautiful day. Well, I just set that first farm over there. We showed you those 4 sets, the 2 dirt holes and the 2 walkthroughs. And what I'm doing today is I'm cherry picking. And what I mean by that is you can see this 2-track right here, these stacked greens with the real thick underbrush. This 2-track comes out, comes around this point right here. I'm gonna put a set right here on this point where it connects that 2-track with this one. And we're on a kind of a thick patch that is more stacked pines over there and things of that nature, but you'll see it comes around here into another nice area where we have the real thick stuff to our left, and right up the gut there's another 2-track, and this is where I'm going to put another set. I'm going to put another set right here right off of this pine right there. And that's going to give me 2 really good sets. And what I mean by cherry picking, this location calls for basically at least 4, probably 6 sets in, you know, different areas, but I want to get as many locations as I can get set today. And I'm going to put 2 traps here. Now, when I come back to check these tomorrow, I'm going to probably go up to the upper end of that lane, put one in up there. I'm going to probably put one in somewhere back where we drove in. Back there, probably 150 to 200 yards. But I'm cherry picking today. I feel the most animal traffic in this place is going to flow around this edge. Those critters are going to hunt this. They're going to be in there, coming down the left edge, coming down the right edge. There might be 2 coyotes together. One of them's running down through the middle to try and kick something out. The other one's out here flanking. That's why I'm putting these 2 traps, one on this edge and one on that other back edge. But this is a prime location, and when I go into an area, a lot of times when I first set it, I cherry pick it. I set the location within the location, and this is one of those type of locations. This is the location within the location. This whole location here is fantastic. There's going to be animals running left, right, down the middle, whatever, but this is the intersecting point right here. Right around this little patch. We got the lane going up to the left. We got the lane that cuts around the right. It's about 20 yards wide, and this is where I want my set. So I'm going to put one here, one over there where I just showed you, and hopefully we'll come back in tomorrow and have something. But we're going to get 2 in today, and we're going to put more in a few more strategic locations within here tomorrow. But when you go into an area, basically go in, pick the best spots, and then work out from there. All I'm doing today is picking the best spots, and we'll add to it as we're here over the next few days. But just an awesome stack there with these 2 tracks running around the edges, and I fully expect to have some action here when we have these set over the next few nights. But what I don't want, which is probably going to happen because this is thick as thieves in here, I'm going to end up having to let a bobcat go, and I don't want to do that. I'd rather catch the coyotes. I'll even take a possum over a bobcat, but it is what it is, and you just have to deal with it. But this is just beautiful, and the sun's beating off of them evergreens today, but we're going to have another one right there as well. So just awesome. We'll get them in here and hopefully come back and show you some critters. Well, we got 2 sets in here. Right on this corner, you can see the dirt hole. I actually have it facing backwards. I just like the way it was gonna go in that way. It's right on this turn. If they're coming around and hugging this edge, or if they're coming down and hugging this edge, they're gonna work right into it right there. And I really like that a lot. That's a good spot there, and I just look for some really good action here. And then down here around this turn, we pounded one in here as well, right off of this evergreen, and you can see how this opens up and comes down along this edge. Just an awesome spot. And you can see right here another dirt hole right there. Just an awesome spot, beautiful location. Just basically picking the micro location, the location within the location, and really cherry picking the day. And I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. Just awesome day. You know, obviously I've been talking about it's cold. It's in the teens. It's probably down around 10 degrees right now, but we're getting some sets in, and those critters are going to be on the move. Here's another one of those locations that I'm gonna set. The wind's blowing from my back towards the camera from this side of the path, this side of the cut through. So I'm gonna put the set on this side. I'm actually gonna put the set probably right in there. And anything that comes to go through this little pass through is gonna smell it because the wind's blowing that way. So pay attention to the wind direction, but I wanted to show you something really cool here. I saw some tracks over here and it looked like there were some tracks out on the culvert, and I came over and you can see that this culvert is being used by some big bore raccoons, and you can see their tracks going right up the ditch there, which tells me that once I get my coyote sets in, I need to put a couple coon sets here, some dog proofs. But you know, that's one of the really cool things about the snow. You are going to get the information. You know, if you live in the north where it snows, you are ahead of the game. This is just a blanket of information. It doesn't matter where you're at, what you're trapping, whether it's beaver, raccoon, coyote, fox, bobcat, it doesn't matter. This snow gives you all the sign that you need. And that's one of the things, and it doesn't matter if it's trapping or deer hunting or whatever. My dad taught me for years, when we would go scout for deer, we wouldn't scout for deer before season. We always went after the season and find the animal traffic and find where they intersect and find their trails. And that's exactly what that is right there. A coon highway, tracks going both ways in the snow, and just tells me that when I get my coyote sets in, I need to put a couple dog proofs there and catch a few of them nest raiders for them. And just pay attention to the sign and use the snow to your advantage. It's something that if you have it, definitely get out there, get off the couch, because the animals are going to tell you where they're running. And if you're not even trapping at that time, it can be after the season. After the season, I can come in here and I can go to all my places and I can find these trails, and I know next year when it comes trapping season, I can come out here, make those sets accordingly, and I'm going to catch the critters. And you can see a couple of them have gone up and down through there. And that snow was, we had the fresh dust in 3 o'clock in the morning, so that's in the last 12, 14 hours, which is cool. So use the snow to your advantage, and we're going to pound one in right here, and hopefully we'll find a coyote that wanted to use this little pass through to work our set. Here's a place up there just about 50 yards right of that telephone or power line. I caught a coyote 2 years ago, and I caught another coyote down there to the right about 300 yards last year, and I caught one a couple years ago down there too. But here you can see an old coyote track. You can see the old coyote track came through right there, but I wanted to show the place that you could get him. And the place that you could get him is right here where he went up under that old beaver chewing right there. You can see right where he went through there. That's a perfect spot to hang one of our easy coyote snares. And I'm probably going to show you that. I'm not going to do it today, it's too cold, but that's a perfect spot right there where any coyote working up and down this draw, especially when the freezing temperatures, you can hear the ice cracking underneath. But that right there, you can see there was two of them, it looks like. One came there, one went around the other side, and one came there and went right in underneath that little hole right there. And that in and of itself is a perfect spot to put a snare off of this frozen pond. But pay attention to that. That's another point of the snow. That's another point of the information that it's given us. But you can see that old coyote track came right through there, and that's a perfect spot to hang a snare. So you know, if it's legal in your state, that right there is what you're looking for. And quite honestly, it doesn't get any easier than that. That's a ready-made position to hang one. And you know, I would hang the easy Coyote there just for the mere fact that, you know, I can wire right off to that old beaver chewing. But ultimately, awesome, really awesome to be out here today and doing this. And that right there is the sign that you're looking for. Well, here's another good location. I just set this. This is where this comes around this corner, comes to a point right here where there's a deer stand and there's game trails coming out. I've caught coyotes here before. I also put one across there on that fence row where there's about 5 foot of woods. It's just a fence row. It's going to keep them in that edge. I know they've gotten coyotes on the cameras over there, and we pounded in another one right here. And that's in a good spot. We're going to go down there about at the end of the camera at that fence line or that wood line. I caught a coyote there last year. I caught a coyote there a couple years ago. I know they come through there. Hell, the one we caught there last year, we were sitting there filming, getting it done, and I looked, and there went one across the field this way. He must have been in the fence row waiting for his buddy. His buddy didn't make it, but just pounding sets in. It's getting colder. My cheeks are froze. I wish I would have wore long johns today as well. But I'm very thankful for this Badger hat. But just awesome. It's getting late in the day. I'm going to try and pound another 4 or 5 in before dark. But just a great spot. And I fully expect to have something either working that set or the one that I put across there. We also showed that one through the 2-track down there. And we're going to put the last one in on this property down there. Well, here's the 4th set on this property in about, I don't know, a 50-acre parcel, basically a 50-acre field. I got 4 corners basically surrounded. Here's the set. I screwed it up. It's getting late in the day. I got the dirt hole basically plugged with grass and everything, and I ended up getting the back part of my trap lower than the front part, and the dogs, I couldn't get the dog and all the angle of the hole. I had it going down in and the dog's sticking up, so I completely didn't do that one. That's what happens when you're freezing and it's getting late in the day, but I fixed it. I like this set. The trap's gonna be right there and the dirt hole's down in there, and I put a big clump of grass right there to stop the wax sand from going down in. But you know, sometimes when you're out here, you're just not going to have everything go perfect and you have to improvise, and I'm freezing and I'm improvising. It's late in the day, as I said. You can see the sun setting behind me and I'm froze. My hands are, they're purple, flat out numb. But I'm not quitting till dark. I got another parcel over here. I wanted to get that parcel and the parcel that's maybe, as a crow flies, a half a mile that way. I wanted to get both of them set today, but that's not going to happen. I'm probably going to get 3 sets in over there, but I'm going to try. But this set's in right along this fence row, this wood line, just a little piece. You can see they cut through right there. I caught a coyote there one year. I caught a coyote here one year. I caught a coyote here last year. I've caught another one just up towards that power line pole. So we're on location here, and if they're running, which I fully expect tonight, as cold as it is, they're going to be hungry, and plus it's mating season, so we got everything working in our favor. Hopefully I bedded them properly, and we'll come back here and have something to show you. But pretty awesome. I'm gonna head down and see if I can pound a couple more in, but that's a good spot right there, right where they sneak through. And if they're hunting that little patch, they're gonna come around and run right into it. Last year we had that one here, we were filming it and took a shot and right across that way right there. But pretty awesome, beautiful day. Here's another good spot. The wind's blowing from my back towards the edge of the woods. You have the little patch of grass here that's kind of a, you know, in the middle of the field, and I got a walk through right there. And you can see how that's kind of on that trail right there. The wind's blowing towards the field edge over there where the woods start. So anything running from between this set and that edge of that woods is gonna smell that. I got the Mountain Man, the Territory, and the Madness, the three that we always use, but just another great location here. I'm actually gonna go, there's a point right over here. I caught a coyote there 2 years ago. Actually, Bill Duke and Stu Miller and Mark Corey had a whole crew that day. Caught a coyote right on that corner right there. So I'm gonna go put another one there, because that's another spot where they come up around that edge, and we'll have this covered for tonight anyway. We may put one or two more down in the bottom tomorrow, but you can see this little patch of stuff comes up. The corner is right there, but we got a really good walkthrough right here, and hopefully we'll have one come up by and investigate and be able to show you something. So I'm gonna run over here and put that other set in on that point. Well, I think that's it for today. We got the sun setting. It's getting dark. We got 15 in. I don't even know if the camera can pick this up. There's the dirt hole. It's right on this turn right here. Caught a coyote here a couple years ago, as I said, but nothing last year. But this is just a good spot as any right here. And we got 15 in today. Hopefully we'll come back out here tomorrow and have a dog or two. Have a coyote. Hopefully we don't have any bobcats. That one place I said, that's just Bobcat Central, where them thick pines were and them evergreens. But it's just a beautiful day. I'm gonna try and get 35 in tomorrow. That'll lock me into about 50. I am good for about 30. Good for about 30 in a day. I'm gonna try and rush and get 35 in tomorrow, but we'll be back out here tomorrow, setting more, showing more locations, and hopefully we'll show you a critter or two in the traps. Well, it's the next day. I am not even gonna lie. I woke up this morning, it was 3 degrees. I woke up at about 6:45, checked the weather. 3 degrees with a wind chill of 20. They said the wind was going to die down around 9. I reset my alarm for 9 o'clock. It is now 10:30 and I'm heading out. I've got no desire to be out in this. Yesterday beat me up pretty good, and it's 8 degrees right now as well. So it's literally 8 degrees. 10:23 in the morning. I'm gonna go check what I set yesterday, those 15 sets. Hopefully we have something. If not, that's not a big deal, but we're gonna give it the college try today. But yeah, it's cold. I'm definitely getting old. I used to go out in this stuff in a t-shirt. My kid, he's 16, going out in it in a t-shirt. And I don't have it in me anymore. That stuff cuts through me like a knife. I stood in that shower last night for about a half hour with the water as hot as it could be. But we're gonna go out, we're gonna pound more in today. I want to get at least another 24 to 30 in today. Obviously I wanted to get 30 to 35 in. I won't do that now since I went back to bed. But it's part of the game, and it's fun, and we're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna have a good time, and I know if we have a coyote today, it'll definitely warm the soul as well. So taking our first spot here shortly. Hopefully I'll be able to show you something. If not, we'll be showing you more sets and more locations. I hope the camera can pick that bird up in the background. That's kind of cool. This is the first check. I told you this yesterday. Just a beautiful, thick area. Gorgeous. We had this dirt hole right here inverted on the back end where it goes around the corner. Nothing around it today, but just an awesome area that you know, I told you yesterday, I just really liked it. And, you know, I kind of jinxed myself. It was my fault. I threw it to the universe, and I come to Illinois to trap coyotes. And I mentioned yesterday that, you know, this is probably a great place to catch a bobcat. And today we have a really big Tom. That's a big cat. That's 25 pounds at least. He's probably 30. I mean, that's a big cat. But right along this just thick area, I said it yesterday, there's nothing better than these type of areas where you have this thick brush. These animals are going to hunt. The coyotes, one of them will run down the middle of it, the other one will run out here from a flank standpoint. But it's cold again. It's 9 degrees. Beautiful cat, and it's literally the first 2 sets that we're checking today. And as you can tell, I'm not too pleased. I'd much rather seen, like I said, I believe I even said yesterday on the film, I'd rather see a possum than a bobcat, because I just am tired of dealing with letting him go. And he's ruined a really good set that probably would have taken a coyote if it had come through first. But we'll get him taken care of. We're gonna get the catch pole, release him, and make sure he heads away unharmed. But you can just see this thick area here. Those bobcats, coyotes, foxes, if you have them in the area, they're gonna work them. And you know, you just don't pass them up. These are the type of areas you want to set, and obviously we got a good working set right there too, but nothing came by that. But same type of setup right on the corner. But we'll get that bobcat taken care of, get him out of the trap, and get it remade. Well, we're gonna let this bobcat go. He's obviously a beauty. He's gonna hopefully give us a chance to get his, oh, he pulled out. Awesome. How cool is that? Yeah, I didn't even have to let him go. Awesome. He pulled right out. Only had him by about a half a toe, and he squeezed out of it. So that works good right there. That saves me having to let him out. That's pretty cool. I'm glad I didn't have to let him go. He got himself out. But at least we could have had him if we wanted to. We wouldn't have messed around if we were allowed to keep him. That's the one thing here in Illinois. I think they give 500 tags. This is our wax sand that we're putting in so it doesn't freeze down. They give away 500 tags, and if you don't have a tag, you can't keep a bobcat. And I come out here every year and usually catch 3 or 4 bobcats every year. All right, that's there. As always, we want to make sure that this trap is bedded really solid. Put some sand there. That's good. I'm going to take some of this duff and just build that right there like that, and that hole is going to be down in there, and then we're going to cover this trap on the back side. But you'll see how we do that. Get the sifter. And then I take and go over, and then that's why I don't need to use a pan cover, because I'm putting all of the sand here and then I whip it back over the top and it covers the pan and it does not get in under the pan. I find my pan. Now the next animal that comes in here, he's gonna step right there and that pan's gonna depress because I'm not packing anything under it. You can see that this is built up like that. We're gonna get our bait down in the hole right here. But I mean, that's really all it takes to do a quick remake. There ain't much else. The pan's right there. You can see the pan. And that's where we want them to step when they come in. And that's pretty good. We're gonna take our Mountain Man bait, get down in there, get that in there, that'll be good. Now we have plenty of scent in there, but I'm gonna take this madness and and that's really all you need. You don't need much. That's about all you need, just a little bit on it. Wipe it there, throw that down in the hole. Perfect. And then all I'm gonna do is take a little bit of this stuff, scrunch it up, put that right in the hole, and make them work for what's down in there. And as you can see, pan's right there, and we are good to go again. That set's ready for the next critter that comes by. So pretty cool. We've got a bobcat, and we'll head on down the road and see if we can see some more. Well, here we are at this little draw that comes up. You can see this draw comes up out of the woods there, and those animals are going to work up this little draw, and it comes right to this point. Last year we had that bobcat, that one that ran under the 4x4 and wouldn't leave us. But I put basically the same set right at the point. You can see the walkthrough. We got our Coyote Plus, our Mountain Man, and our Territory right there. But it's right on the point where it comes around, and that's exactly what we want. But it's another beautiful day. It's brisk again. Actually, it's colder today than it was yesterday. It's 8 degrees today. But this is a prime spot for what you want to look for. Every cornfield, this was soybeans last year. You know, they rotate soybean, corn, soybean, corn. But this was soybean last year, and it's corn this year. It does not matter. It doesn't matter if it's soybean or corn. They still have this cut right here, and you can see how that goes right down to the bottom, and that's exactly where those animals are going to run. They're going to run that area. They're going to hunt that for rabbits and mice, and it's always going to go right to the point. They're going to come up and around. They're always going to work it to the point, and even coming from up the field, they're going to come directly to the point. And we got a set waiting for them right there. We're going to go up to the upper end where it cuts through to another field where we had the raccoon pull out last year when we pulled up. So ultimately we're getting more sets in the ground. Just that bobcat today. Earlier we showed you he pulled out and helped us to where we don't have to deal with letting him out. That was pretty cool. Didn't have him very good, but still bobcat. If I wasn't messing around grabbing the camera or whatever, we definitely could have harvested it, but you got to have a tag here in Illinois. But just a beautiful spot. I've set this every year I've been here. I've caught something on this point, a big predator every year. We had the bobcat last year. No coyotes on this point last year, but every other year we've had a coyote in through this little spot. And I fully expect they're going to be in the ground for a few days here. I fully expect to probably have some action. But look for these spots. Find those little draws where the water, you know, feeds down through, whether it's a little ditch or a little cut like this, and those predators, whether it's fox, bobcat, or coyote, are going to work them accordingly. Well, here's the upper end of that field where we just sat. This is where that coon pulled out last year. We got a walk through right here. You can see how that goes through there. It connects that field over there to this field here. You got basically, you know, woods, and then this little edge row right here, and it separates them, and they're just magnets to the predators. And if you notice, a lot of my sets are around these type of areas, these crossover, these cut throughs, whatever you want to call them. They're definite intersections. I mean, you can literally see the trail that goes out through there, very distinct. Now that's probably deer as well, but every other critter, coyote, fox, bobcat, raccoon, all of them are going to use that trail, and they're going to run right into that walkthrough. So there's one more in the ground. Slowly but surely we're getting some traps in the ground, and it's supposed to rain in 3 days, which, you know, is par for the course anytime you set traps. But we should have a couple good nights before we have to start dealing with the wet conditions. But it is going to supposedly warm up. Now, when I say warm up, it's into the 30s, but the 30s will probably feel like I'm on a vacation to the Bahamas after this. But it's a beautiful day, and we're going to go down the road, get a few more spots, show you a few more locations, and pound a few more sets in. But just an awesome spot here. And when you find these fence roads, these little edgeways, put your sets in accordingly, because they will definitely take the critters when they come through. Well, here we are at a spot. I mentioned yesterday about using the snow to your advantage, and I stopped here where this ditch runs through, and you can see the old tracks right here. A couple coyotes came down through probably a couple days ago, but you can see right here down in that gulch, you can see where the tracks go right under and down that ditch in through the culvert. And they're old. I can't tell what they are. They could be a fox, they could be a bobcat, could be a coon, but you can see where they come over and then out. Actually, it's right there. It's a bobcat. You can see the bobcat track right there. So a bobcat, actually, that's a fresh one too. So a bobcat came down or up this ditch and went right through the culvert right there. So that's a fresh cat track. This is, it looks like old coyote tracks, but you know, there's something to be said for the snow. It just helps you out tremendously. You can see here where they came across and up through right here at this cut. We're gonna put a set right here on this cut. So we're gonna have any traffic that's coming down that road, out this edge of the field, anything coming up the road behind us, or anything coming from over here. So that's really a good intersection, and that's where we're gonna put a set right there, and then we're gonna go to the top of the knoll over here and put another set at the top. So we'll put 2 more in this spot, and you know, I hadn't been in here. I didn't set this last year. I dealt with rain and never got in here, but I knew that this was a place I wanted to check out this year, especially with the snow. And we come in, we got bobcat tracks. I don't want to catch them, but we got bobcat tracks going through the culvert. Looks like a couple old sets of Coyote prints here that were made in the last few days. So we're going to be in a good spot right here. We'll put one right there on that corner, and then we're going to put one at the top of the hill. Here at the top of this hill, you can see that this is another good spot right off of this dam breast. I'll show you here where I'm going to put it, and the reason I'm going to put it here is pretty simple. We have that dam over there, that pond, and those critters are going to work in here around that pond. You have that field edge over there that works down into that bottom, and you know, you come over here, they are going to work here, and if they come up the road, we got an intersecting point here, and it's just another spot that will perform for us. It's definitely gonna have some critter traffic, and if you look over here, you can see that there's, I mean, a trail coming from this side over here. You can see the trail that comes right through there. Now that's probably you know, a lot of deer and things like that, but they're gonna work in around here. This is a focal point, this tree. The one cool thing I've been talking about how cold it is. The one cool thing about that is it keeps the raccoons and the possums out of your sets. We went around there today, checked our sets, and we didn't have many in last night. We had that bobcat this morning, but we didn't have any raccoons or possums plugging up the sets, and that's one good thing. When it is this cold, you're probably not going to have to worry about anything working your sets except what you're actually targeting. But another good spot here, as I look at this, the way I see it, let me feel the wind. Wind's blowing a little bit this way, so I don't want to get down on that side of the road. I'm going to I'm going to use that cow patty right there. That old cow patty is going to be my backing. I'm going to put the set right there. That covers anything coming that way, covers anything coming this way, and it surely is going to cover anything out in that field edge or coming up this road or coming across right here. So we're going to use that cow patty right there and build that up. That's where our dirt hole is going to go. I'd rather put a walkthrough in, but I don't see really. Actually, you know what? I am going to change my mind. I'm going to put a walkthrough right here. I'm going to use that tuff as my back. We're going to have the walkthrough right here. We'll put some scent and some bait there, and then we'll put another scent over here. But we're going to put a walkthrough in right there. I'd rather put that here because this is more of a travel way, and I want to get them to stop, put their feet down, and that's where we're going to put it. So that's how quick you can make a decision or change your mind and make a new decision when you're out here. But that just jumps out at me. You can see how that just looks like a critter's going to run right through that little section right there. So that's where we're going to put it. We're going to throw the walkthrough in there, and we'll show you what we come up with. Actually, you know what? I'm going to brave the elements and actually put the camera on my head and film this for you. First thing we got to do, because it's partly the frozen tundra, is we need to figure it out again. Yeah, we're going to put it right here. So we're just going to break through the frozen ground with our axe. Get that chopped up, and there's our bed, just like that. That's exactly what we need. That's perfect. That'll work on that. Pull a trap out of here. You can see how many traps I have in there that I plan on setting here over the next couple days. It's been slow going though. My fingers are always cold the last couple days. A couple of these traps aren't where I need them because I was in a hurry to boil them before I left Pennsylvania. So we're just going by as we go. There we go. Oh, that should have got some of the soot off. And let's see. Nope. I'd have to, that's one of the things also. I'm glad this is happening. Sometimes that night latch doesn't click, and that's because underneath here there might be some, you know, remnants of the die or whatever, and it might be on the latch here where you just want to get that groove and clean that groove out right there. So that should fix the night latch problem. Get that down in there and click. There it is. It's level now, ready to go. Good. And we'll set it one more time. Make sure it comes down with these. And click. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. So that's that. And that's one of the things. When you're out here on the line, everything's not going to be perfect. Your equipment's not going to be perfect. Your sets aren't going to be perfect all the time. But you do what's necessary to get it done. Get our waxed dirt. Alright, we'll clean this out. Actually take the dirt and make it look like it's a path. Give them the little eye appeal working in there. And just get that. That's why it's a rock. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Take some out this way, make it look. Alright, that's that. Get our wax sand as our base. And make a place for our trap right there. And we'll pound the stake in. Alright, that's good. We'll get the stake out. There we go. There we go. Alright, so get our trap bedded. Right there. As always, we want to bed this trap properly. Make sure that you don't have any wiggle, no wobble. And that's actually bedding in there pretty good because I have it just the right amount of distance on the side. Throw a little more sand there. And that's good. No movement. That's exactly what we want. And you can see now, just clean that out a little bit. You can see how that's set up, and we're gonna put bait and lure and some sort of scent over here to where they're working through here. That's exactly what we want. That's good. Perfect. And then we find our pan right there. And that's what we want. As you can see, right there is the pan. You can see the pans right there. And then we just put that, and that's our walkthrough. That's all it takes to put that set in. There's not a lot else that is needed other than to figure out where we want the baits. And we got our punch hole right there. So we got a punch hole here, a punch hole right here, and a punch hole right here. So we're gonna take our territory and we're gonna get some of that. That'll be good. And that's gonna go down in that hole. Then we're gonna take our mountain man, and we're going to take a stick and get some of that, which is right there, and that's going to go down in that hole right there. Perfect. And then we're going to take Actually, we're going to take some of Leggett's Exciter and the Coyote Fox 1 and put it in that hole. And that's pretty much it. Not a lot else we're going to do. We are going to take some of these dry stalks or whatever they are and just kind of grind them through the grater. And that's what we want. So that's pretty much our walkthrough. And we got the Leggett's Exciter here. We got the Mountain Man and the Territory. Pan is right here. And this is a really good set. Just scratch that up. And that's it. And you can see that walkthrough, boom, right there. So that's really all there is to doing it. Just a great set. You can just see an animal working through there, smelling this, smelling that, putting his foot down, boom. And we're right on location, right here on this point. Wind's blowing this way, coming just kind of across. And anything that works down through here, hopefully it'll work into that set and we'll be able to show them sitting there tomorrow. Well, there's another set right on this turn. Got a 2-track coming out of there. I actually put another one where the 2-track goes around right there. And then I got one out the lane in the field where it goes into a food plot. But just a really good location. These coyotes are going to work in through here, and this is awfully, once again, I'm probably going to jinx myself. This is awfully catty, and I wouldn't be surprised if I came in here tomorrow or one day this week and had me a bobcat waiting for me. But it's still cold. It's gotten up to about 14 or 15 degrees, but we're still pounding sets in. It's a lot of fun. I mean, just being out here, I mean, how lucky can you be to be out in nature? I mean, I don't take this for granted at all. Coming through, you can see the rabbit tracks, deer tracks. But these lanes that are cut, those coyotes, bobcats, the occasional fox around here are going to use those as travel ways. As I said, where I caught the bobcat earlier today, you're going to have these lanes, you're going to have coyotes and stuff running down through the middle of it, other ones flanking, and when they do that, we're going to have our sets for them, one right there and one right there, and we have one out the lane as well. But pretty awesome. Beautiful day. It's getting late again. Sun's starting to go down. It's about 3:45, maybe 4 o'clock. I got one more spot I want to get in today. I didn't get near as many in today as I wanted to. I couldn't get my ass out of bed, but that's one of those things. I'm not doing this for a living. I'm not out here doing it for money. I'm out here doing it as a favor, and I had to take a favor this morning and get a couple extra hours of sleep, but plus it just 5 degrees in the morning with a below zero wind chill. I'm not coming out here, but just a awesome day, beautiful day. We got it set up, and you can see this is just gorgeous country with an owl in the background and one answering them. How cool is that? Here's a great spot that obviously produced last year. Here's that trail that comes out of this bottom, that swamp. You can see the tracks. Now there's deer tracks in there, but them coyotes are using it too, because we actually caught one right here last year. It was by a back foot. We showed that when we were here last year. We got this 2-track coming from the river. The river's just up over that knoll. That river's gonna keep those coyotes in here. They're gonna hunt this bottom, and they're gonna work out this trail right here, and they're gonna work out this 2-track. And we got a set waiting for them right there. But just a beautiful spot. This is awfully bobcatty too. It's thick in there. You can see how thick it is. The bobcats are going to be working in there. I know they've seen them here when they've been hunting, and I know they're getting them on their game cameras too, along with the coyotes. But we got a really good set, and it's just, you know, the biggest thing, I know I harp on it, I get redundant at times. I get redundant with bed your trap properly. I get redundant with you don't need to worry about scent. You know, I get redundant with being on location, but I really have to say that you can come into this area. I'm trapping maybe 50, 60 acres, I think they own. I'm only going to put 3 or 4 sets. And I'm cherry picking. I'm cherry picking these type of spots that is going to have, maybe not the first night, but at some point in 3 or 4 nights, those resident coyotes, and also being January with the mating season, any transient coyotes are going to run this riverbank. They're going to come by this set. And I wanted to put more walkthroughs in, seeing that it is mating season, but the dirt holes are going to work fine too. It's getting their attention. It's been really cold, so they're probably a little bit hungry. But that trail, you can see it goes right here out along this edge. So right up to the top, it's going to run that river's edge. The trail comes down right here, across this 2-track, and out through that bottom of that swamp. And we are spot on location. So we're going to go up here. There's a cut through. You can maybe see it from here. There's a couple deer stands up there in the far end of that corner, and there's a cut through that goes from field to field with edge of woods and the river system right there. And I'm going to double up. I'm actually going to put 2 sets within probably 10 yards of each other right there, because on the whole property, that's probably the best spot for the most traffic as far as the location. They're going to and from, they're running the river, they're coming out of this bottom, they're going into the bottom. That spot up there is going to hit. But beautiful day. You can see the sun's starting to set. It's below the trees. The temperature's going down, and we're going to go throw a couple more sets in, but I'm really happy with that set, and hopefully we'll be able to show you another one here like we did last year. We got the river down there, and then we have the cut through right here, a 2-track, and we've got one right here, and God, they're gaudy though. These sets are gaudy. Maybe you're sitting there using a pickaxe to take the dirt out, because you can't use a hammer and you can't use a trowel because there's 4 inches of frozen tundra. But it is what it is. These are definitely eye appeal sets. There's the other one right there. This is trapping in winter conditions. For all you guys that get freezing conditions, there's not much you're going to do to pretty them up, but you can see where this trail comes out into the cornfield, and those coyotes and bobcats and everything's going to run up along the edge. They're going to hunt this thick stuff in there. It's just, they're not going to run out in the middle of that cornfield too often, but they're going to run. That's the river right there, and there's about 30-40 yards, if that, of woods to the river, and they're going to run that. They're going to come around this corner, and they're going to work in here and find our sets, hopefully. Last year I couldn't keep these sets. I'm just so particular. I don't like that piece of snow there. I'm going to get that out of there. But Last year I couldn't keep these sets working. Every night we had a coon or a coon digging it, flipping it. Just couldn't keep them working. I had these here for I think 4 or 5 nights at least, and every night we either had a coon, lost a coon, or had a coon dig out the hole or a possum dig out the hole. But we shouldn't have to worry about that the next couple nights because it's not supposed to get above 20 degrees. But we got 2 really good sets right here just on this cut through from field to field. And the bottom right there, it's thick, and the river right there down there pushing them in. So just really awesome. Happy I got these 2 in. I wanted to get these in before the end of the day, especially the one right behind us that I showed there before we come up here. I mean, I caught a coyote there last year, so I know that the coyotes are here and they get them all the time on the cameras, and just we have to make sure that they come by when we're here. But sets are in the ground. We'll be out here tomorrow morning. We pounded in. Didn't get near the sets in today. I couldn't get my lazy ass out of bed. I really needed to sleep, and I sure as hell didn't want to come out here earlier than I did. But you can see that river right there. And those coyotes and everything's going to run here, and they're going to come up in these fields. And we've got them covered. We'll be back out here tomorrow. Hopefully, we had a bobcat today. Not bad. Started off the trip with a cat, and he let himself out, so that's even better. But tomorrow, hopefully, we'll have a couple more big predators to show you, but pounding sets in, it's the best we can do. Well, we're finally getting in here. We've set this the last couple years, and this area right here is just thick area. I mean, you can see it's exactly what you want when you're looking for coyotes. And the problem with this place is it's full of bobcats too. I caught that monster, that cat, the biggest cat I've ever caught there 2 years ago, right up the road here. I'm going to show you where that was, and we're going to make another set there. But this is where it comes out into the field. You can see where I just drove down and turned around, but you can see fresh coyote tracks there. You can see just an absolute super highway. You'd think this was deer tracks. That's not deer tracks. That's all coyote tracks. And some are old. You can see there old ones there, but then you get over here and there's the fresh ones. And you can see right here the fresh ones. And the tracks are going both ways out of this field into this cut through. This is a travel way. This is a hunting ground. You know what I mean? Look at this right here. Look at the tracks. Yeah, this is just, I don't know. I've trapped coyotes in a lot of areas, and I've trapped a long time, and this is probably one of the most ready-made spots for trapping canines and feedlines, because caught the big bobcat 2 years ago. First night caught another bobcat last year. We've caught 4 coyotes in the last 3 years on this road, and there's the reason why. Thick, just crazy. And those bobcats, coyotes, gonna hunt that thick stuff and basically just run down this road. And you have game trails that head off into that thick stuff, and as you can see right here, you can see right there where a coyote went in that game trail. You can see his track right there. So we're on location, and we're gonna just put 3 sets. We're gonna put one right here. We're gonna put one at the turn I'm gonna show you, and then we're gonna put one where we caught that coyote in a walkthrough last year where it comes out into that other field. But it doesn't get much better than this. This is ready-made for some action. So we're gonna get them in and hopefully be able to come back here and show you some critters. But just an awesome area. Well, here we are on the turn, just up about 100 yards from where we just made that set. Last year, we caught a bobcat right here by this evergreen, and the year before we had that young coyote right under this. You know, it's right on this turn. You got trails coming out of the bottom. You got another trail right here coming out on the turn. You can see how good this trail is, and you know, you got a couple different trails coming out of there. There's tracks there. I can't tell what they are, probably deer, but down there is where we just put the set in at right about where the camera can see. So we're about 100 yards down there on the left, coming up this 2-track on this turn. This location right here has been just a fantastic spot for me, and you can see why. I mean, you can't get much thicker than that right there. I mean, look at that. That is unreal. And it comes out of this bottom over here. This is kind of a flat area that goes down into another bottom. They come up on this top, they hunt, they pass through. It's just a really good location. And you know, right here we've shown critters at this pine tree or this evergreen for, you know, basically the last 3 years, right on this turn. Every year we smack something here, bobcats, coyotes, and it's just a great location. All these intersecting trails, the thickness of the brush, the food source. We're gonna pound our second one in here, and then we're gonna go up the road about another 70, 80 yards, maybe 100 yards, and we're gonna put a set in where we put that walkthrough and caught the coyote in the walkthrough last year. So pretty awesome. It's warming up. I think it's 10 degrees now. It's about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're up to 10 degrees. So it's gonna be a good day. Well, we're just up about 100 yards from down there, and we've on this field here, and we've got a walkthrough right here. And you can see how, if they're coming up the road, we've got it made to where they can walk right through it right there. And we have on the left the territory, and on the right we have our Mountain Man and Madness Lure, our 3 combination that we always use most of the time. This is exactly where I caught that coyote last year in the walkthrough. As I said last year, there's no need to go out in that field. Even if they're out there one night, they're gonna come to this road at some point when you're in here. So there's no need to go out there. You catch them right on these travel ways, and as you can see, I've got it set to where they're gonna walk right through that, whether they're coming down the road or up the road. And just, you know, fantastic location. And this is one of the things that, you know, I mentioned from time to time. You know, if you catch something one year in a spot, you can pretty much bet that every other critter in that region is going to, you know, run that same territory. So if you catch a coyote here, you can pretty much bet that you can catch other coyotes there, or a bobcat or a fox, because all of them are going to run the same location. And this location here is about as good as it gets. It's thick down in there. We've caught bobcats year in, year out. We've caught coyotes. Every year we've set this, we've caught at least 1 coyote and 1 bobcat. A couple years we've caught 2 coyotes. We've only ever caught 1 bobcat each year, but I don't really, as I've said, I don't really want to catch the bobcats. That one yesterday did me a favor by letting himself out of the trap when we went up to let him out, so I'm all right with that. But this is just a beautiful spot, and if you can find places like this where You have thick areas that are travelways from a valley to a gulch, or separates two big parcels of woodlands. These are the type of areas you want to set, and that's what we got. We got the walk through here, we got the set in down there on the turn about 100 yards, and then about 100 yards down from that we've got a set on the road right before it heads into the food plot. But pretty awesome. I'm glad to get these three in here. I wanted to get over here yesterday and I just didn't get here, but we've got them in today, and hopefully we'll come back tomorrow and have some more. But as you can see, this is just prime territory, prime habitat that's going to carry all of those major predators. And we'll see if our sets work for us. Well, here we are on this place where we set 2 days ago. We didn't have anything yesterday, but we got a nice coyote here today. He's got really good coat. He's got a little orange red tint to him. Good foot catch. He's buried in that 550. Just working this edge here. We showed this set 2 days ago. It's been really cold. We got two sets across the way there. Up at the upper end we showed putting the one set in, and then we did a walkthrough out in the middle of that 2-track. But just an awesome day. Nice coyote. It's about 10 degrees, still not warm, but the coyotes are obviously moving. We got that bobcat yesterday. We're just starting to check today, really. And I've just showed putting 3 sets in at my favorite spot, and we're stopping our first place going out, and we got ourselves a nice coyote here. So we'll get him taken care of. But just find these little intersecting points like I had said. This is just a draw, 50 yards, 60 yards wide, connects 2 fields. We're right on a game trail coming out. It's obviously right where we want to be, and that's exactly what you'll get if you put your sets in accordingly. But even though it's cold out, that definitely warms the soul. And like I said, we're going to get this one taken care of and get it remade, and hopefully have some more somewhere else down the road. Well, we got that coyote taken care of. I feel that there was more than one coyote here, because I got scat right here, and that looks like it's wet and it's in the inner circle. This one here is out of the circle. I think he had a partner with him, a buddy, and that buddy's probably going to come back in here and check this out tonight. So I'm kind of excited about that. We'll get our bed redug here. Boy, that's, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh my God. Well, this is the second piece of equipment that has faltered with the cold weather. Yesterday I broke my hammer, it snapped off. And today I snapped my trowel. So I'm gonna have to improvise. I'm gonna have to get a new trowel now. You gotta be kidding me. My God, that is just ridiculous. You just can't make it up. You literally can't make it up. I mean, if it ain't one thing, it's another. That's part of trapping though. You gotta improvise. Broken trowel. Oh, I don't have my hammer with me either. And I can't even hammer this down in. I left my hammer in the truck. Well, let's see if we can manually get this down in there. This ground is so rock hard though. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Well, there's the old dirt hole. So I do know. Yeah, that's the old dirt hole. And he didn't even eat the bait. He wasn't even happy. We're actually gonna save that bait right there. That's more bait. We don't even need to, you can see he didn't even eat the bait last night. So that's gonna work for us as well. But there's our hole. Now I need to manually somehow get this. That ain't gonna work. Well, we're gonna have to go up and get my hammer so I can hammer this down in. Well, we got us our hammer, and in case we need it, we got the pickaxe. This is just turning into a fun trip. We got the broken trowel, broken hammer. Let's get our self back in order here. You know what? That's not gonna work either. We're just gonna pickaxe this out again. You can see how hard this is. I'm basically wearing the stuff. Gotta be careful I don't hit my chain. Alright, that might work. We'll have to see. I said it was cold. I think that pretty much proves it right there. This is just ridiculous. Get the hole dug back out. And take our wax sand, place to bed the trap. And I haven't even seen if the trap will reset or if anything's wrong with that. Let's hope it works. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Night latch, click, boom, good to go. All right, get that reset. Night latch, good. All right. That's right where we want it. Pack it in tight. Right there. Perfect. Now, one of the things that I get a lot of questions about a lot of times is you don't use a pan cover, you don't use a pan cover. That is true. I don't anymore. I don't think it's needed. But you see, I take my finger in there and I clean out everything in there. And there's plenty of space under that pan now. Now what I do, you'll see here, I take the wax sand and I pour it at the back of the trap, okay? And then what I do is I take my hand and I pull it over the trap. Now that falls right down and there's plenty of air under that pan to have that trap go off now. And that's all I do. There's no need for me with this wax sand or dry dirt or whatever. Find my pan, get that back in there. Perfect. There's no need for me to use a pan cover, and that's why I don't use a pan cover anymore. I don't need to. I put the sand and then I wipe it back over the top, and there's plenty of air under that pan now to depress when that critter comes in to investigate. And we'll get this blended in a little, and then we'll put a thing there, and that's pretty good. A little stick, that's fine. A little guide there. And there ain't much else we need to do. We are going to take our trowel, or well, I found the part there. Here's the other part. And you can see all the bait that was left. This is all bait. And we're going to put that, and it doesn't matter that there's a little bit of scent bait on top. We're going to smash that in and wipe it right up the side, just like that. And if he wants that, he's going to have his feet all the way around here. We have this coyote that was in the circle, left his scat right here. So we're going to leave that on the back end, and then we're going to take the scat that his buddy left outside the circle, and we're gonna put that right there. And that's the remake. There ain't much else to it. I'm gonna take a little bit of Leggett Exciter, and I'm just gonna squirt that on the back of his and down in, and that's pretty much it. The only other thing that I want to do is I want to make that blend in just a little bit more, and I'm going to grab some of these dry grasses. They're going to do two purposes here. I'm going to use these dry grasses for two purposes. One is to blend in the whole area, and you'll see here when I start, I ball it up. I like it when it's in a ball. You'll see this grates and starts to blend in this whole area to where there's nothing distinct standing out. And that's that. And you can see how I've cheese grated that basically all the way over this, and then I'm going to take the rest of this and we'll jam that down in the hole to where it makes him work for it. He ain't going to be able to pull that out of there. And I don't mind that there's a little bait at the top. He'll taste that and want to get more, and he moves his feet around. We're just going to pull a little bit of that up. That's it. And then scrape this up and pick all of our stuff up in the process and get that out of the way. But that's pretty much the remake on a set that we had one. It's a little harder when you break your trowel, and it's a little harder when you can't dig in, but you can see now that this has a general feel of awesomeness. Pretty cool. That's the remake, and that's blended in. Gonna work in there. Hey, he may work it from behind, I don't know. I'm not gonna bring anything gaudy in there to you know, put as a backing. There's a pretty good angle on that, so that's basically all we need. But right on this location here, I got two sets over here. I got one at that corner, which I feel is the best spot on the whole property. I always catch stuff there. Bobcats, coyotes right at that corner. I have that walkthrough in that 2-track, and then down here I have a walkthrough where they cut across from field to field at the bottom end. And this one here on the top, and this is where we caught him today. And he obviously had another buddy with him because he took a scat outside the circle. So pretty awesome day. Put these sets in accordingly in these spots and you'll be successful as well. Well, we've just pulled in here. We got a raccoon on this really good point that comes out of this bottom right here. Comes out, meets this 2-track and heads to that food plot behind us. We got the river's edge up here on the left. We showed this the first day, or actually the second day. This has only been here 2 nights. This is the second night, and this is the first place we're checking today, and I kind of figured this was going to happen last night. As you can tell, I don't have my fur hat on. It's warmer. No, it's not extremely warm. It's still in the 20s. It's like 27, 28 degrees, but you know, once those temperatures are so cold and it gets to 20 degrees, maybe high teens, low 20s, the coons and the other animals, because they've been sitting in, you know, their tree for 4 days, they're hungry. They're going to go out and, you know, kind of move around a little bit. And this is what's going to happen. They're going to work into your sets. This coon right here definitely ruined a really good coyote set. We're going to remake it, but, you know, it's supposed to rain. You know, if I don't have much today, I'm not going to, be thinking I'm going to catch much more as far as the coyotes are going, because we're going to get plugged up by the coons, possums, and skunks. It's going to rain half an inch today and tonight. It's going to rain another half an inch tomorrow, and it's going to rain another half an inch the following day, and that's our pool day. So we only got 3 more nights, and we're going to have wet and warm and rainy conditions. And the critters are going to move, but a lot of times they're going to be these guys right here plugging up your sets. But just a great location. I caught a coyote here last year, and we're going to remake this. We may catch a coyote tonight. I'm not saying we won't. I'm just saying that there's a better chance now that these guys are going to be plugging up some sets. And I know that it was cold, and I'm out here, and my hands are frozen. It's freezing. But you don't have to worry about these guys plugging your sets up, which is nice. If you walk in and you see you got something, that's usually a predator. But we'll get him taken care of. Head on down the road, but just on this draw, coming out of that bottom, meeting this 2-track, a little intersecting point, and just an awesome spot. Kicked the deer out and got us the old scent master flash here, Mr. Opossum. What's up, buddy? Look at him. Yep, they are freaking notorious for ruining a good set. This is where I caught that bobcat last year. Big old bobcat coming down this 2-track through these thick pines out into this food plot. And last year we caught a really nice bobcat here, and today we've got Mr. Possum that has ruined our good coyote predator set. But that's what happens. The weather broke, an inch of rain came in, and every critter known to man is out running around looking for something to eat, and this possum thought he had a free meal, and he ended up getting himself a bracelet. But we'll get him taken care of. We will remake this. He's been in there, obviously, got himself a circle. But just a nice foggy day, and another nest raider out of the equation. I mean, those guys are going to be happy we're in here. We're not just, trying to catch coyotes and, stuff of that nature. They want these nest raiders out. So it's still a positive to get that. But I'd much rather have them in a dog proof than than a 550. They are notorious for ruining a really good set. But this is just, you can see this location here. That's why I love it so much. This thick stuff, you got the intersecting road there. You got another 2-track coming out of there. Basically, this whole area is just prone for, predator traffic. And obviously where you have predators, you're going to have prey, and we'll get this one taken care of and head on down and see if we actually have something we want to catch in one of our other sets. Oh, you're a mud bug, aren't you, buddy? There's a nice coyote in that walkthrough right on this point. I showed putting this in the other day. Right where this little point comes out, we set this. We had that wet bobcat here last year. I guess this set here is the wet set because it wouldn't have been until we got an inch of rain last night. But this coyote obviously thought he was going to go through. You gonna bark at me a little, huh, buddy? Well, you hear that echo? That's kind of cool. Anyway, just a really good location. We've caught coyotes and bobcats here every year. This set right here has been one of the best sets on the whole property every year, and it's because of this draw right here. They hunt up and down this draw, and it comes to this point right here, and that is exactly what we're looking for. Good pad catch on the 550 on the walkthrough. We'll get him taken care of, and we're not going to remake this. That set I'm pulling probably tomorrow anyway. That set's ruined, and there's really not much that I'm going to be able to do with that. But just a really awesome spot. Make sure on all those cornfields, soybean fields, all those fields that you have across the country where they are coming up through and they come to this point, that's where your predator traffic's going to be. Well, here we are just up from where that coyote we just caught, and we got ourselves another big possum, the infamous possum, ruining a really good walkthrough set, going from that field edge through here into this field. We just caught that coyote down there to the left, but you know, that's the thing that we're going to deal with when it warms up like this after that real big cold snap. Every one of these nest raiders is out on the move, and they're going to plug your sets up, and you just have to, you know, deal with it. And it's just one of those things that's going to happen, and it sucks that I wish, even though it was cold, I wish it would have stayed cold for about another 2 to 3 days, and we wouldn't have these nest raiders. Didn't plug us up for the first couple nights because it's so cold. They're locked down, and we had a really good set right here on this trail. You can see actually the distinct trail that goes right out through there, right to the corner. We always do well here. Last year we had that raccoon pull out when we pulled up. I caught a coyote here the year before, and I think I caught a coyote here the year before that. But just a really good spot where they cut through. But it's raining again right now. But we'll get this possum taken care of. We are going to remake this, and hopefully we'll have something here to show you next time through. But find these little cut throughs, these little trails that move one field to another with that real small patch of woods. As I said, they're going to hunt them. They're going to cross over here. The only problem is you're going to have these guys crossing over too, plugging your sets up when it's warm out. So we'll get them taken care of and finagle the remake there and head on down the road. Well, here we are on the top of this field. We showed this the first day, and another nest raider I just took care of. He's got that all tore up, just miserable, nothing but soup. But here's the thing that I was talking about, the nest raiders plugging your sets up. I pull the 4x4 up, and I have this on the ground about 5 to 10 feet past where the coon is. So the coon's right there, and the coyote came here and sat here and took a scat last night, and that's what happens. You get these nest raiders when it gets warm. You just got to deal with it, and we're dealing with it. And I kind of thought that I was going to be dealing with it all day today, and that's exactly what I am dealing with. I'm dealing with nothing but coons and possums, and well, we do have a coyote, that mud bug we just checked, and we have a few more sets left, but they just plug them up, and that's one of the things. But you can see he was in there, and he's got that all souped. But the disheartening thing is seeing the old pile of coyote scat right here about 5 to 10 feet from where the coon was. And I can just imagine the coyote come running up along the side over here, bouncing along, and he comes in, and the coon's in there, and he sits around and looks at him and goes over there and takes a squat. But you can see why I picked this location, though. Right here along this edge row, comes across this top, and it quickly goes into the bottom right here. But this is just a great location. It's the shortest point between that edge of woods to this edge of woods behind me. And the raccoon definitely was through here, and obviously the fresh scat of the coyote right here, basically, like I said, 5 to 10 feet away. So we are going to move on, persevere, and hopefully we'll have another predator by the end of the day. We got, I think, 6 or 7 more sets to check. We do have that place where that Bobcat pulled out a couple days ago. I really like that spot there with the way that's thick, and I know the coyotes are going through there, so maybe we got a crack at one last night. But just find these areas, little cut throughs. They're gonna hunt these, they're gonna work these, they're gonna work these edges. Obviously the coons and possums are as well, but where they run is where the predators run. So we'll get him out of there and move on down the road. Well, here's where we caught that bobcat the other day, and you can see that we got another swimming pool. Well, that's the breaks when you get an inch of rain. So basically every one of my sets looks like that today, or it's got a possum or a raccoon in it. We did catch that coyote. He was a mud bug, but pretty much every set has had some action at it. So it's either had a lot of water action, raccoon action, possum action, and we had a little bit of coyote action. But you can see this one as well, another swimming pool. But you know what, we're gonna leave them. As I said before, that will catch a critter if they come by. We're not even gonna monkey with it. There's no need to put any bait or lure or anything there. Anything comes down along this way, they're gonna check that out, and we got an opportunity to catch them. I've caught them in sets that had more water than that in them before. So we'll leave it there for another night or two, but just a good day as far as catch percentage. We're probably rolling about 20-25%. It doesn't hurt that it warmed up to above freezing after being 1 degree for a few days, but pretty awesome spot though. I mean, you can just see why this is just an awesome location. The thickness of this thickets and just these little rows that they're gonna run. They're gonna hunt that thick stuff, and it's just ready-made for predator traffic. Here's a trail, obviously, you know, deer trail probably, but that goes through there, and just awesome. Pretty cool. We'll leave them here for another night and see what we hopefully can snag into tonight. Wouldn't be a fitting end of the day if we didn't, in our last set, come in and have another raccoon plugging up our good coyote set. So right here on this good crossover, coming out of that bottom over there, gonna come down through here, work this 2-track anywhere, coming out across there, coming up over the field. Just a perfect location, and another raccoon. Today is the day that we all dread when we put all these coyote predator sets in, and that's coming in and having them just plugged up, and that's exactly what we have today. But as I said, they want some turkeys around here, and they want you know, them out of the equation. So, you know, obviously we're doing something for them in that aspect of it. And as I stand here, there's 4 deer across there. I don't know if the camera can pick them up or not. Running right on top. Pretty cool. Fitting end of the day though. Last set, we got a critter, and we'll get this one taken care of. We will do the remake here. It's not too muddy, but we'll get her back in there for another night, and hopefully we'll come back here and have a coyote tomorrow. Well, here is a old rundown building. You can see a chair right there. Looks like the raccoons or something's been eating on that. This building has a meaning to me. Me and my father sat in this building for 2 straight days watching out over this field here during a muzzleloader season, probably well over a decade ago, probably 12, 13, 14 years ago, late 2008, 9, somewhere around there. And we sat right in here all day. Daryl would drop us off and we packed our lunch, snacks, and we overlooked the field. But that's one of the things out here, and I'll show you later today when we go to pull up some other sets. I'm actually pulling everything today. It rained another inch last night, and it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. It's supposed to rain for about 36 straight hours, and these sets are a wash. They're ruined. But I'm in here, I'm pulling this one set today, and I saw this old shack, and it reminded me of sitting in there all day with my dad hunting deer during the muzzleloader season, probably about 15 years ago. And just pretty awesome. We overlooked this field, and the reason it really hit me today is because one of the days it was foggy like this, and we could see deer out in the field, but we couldn't tell what they were because it was so foggy. But I thought I'd share that out here on the Trapline and getting to reminisce about a hunt with my dad. So I'll actually show you where he shot a real nice buck the following year when we come out. I got 4 sets up there on that one area, and actually it's a pretty cool story. My buddy Jerome, who was my cameraman at the time, he was actually in the stand with my dad because it was a really small blind, and I was like, why don't you go film him? And I went out to pick him up, and I got there about 4:30, and I'll tell the story when we're over there, but I heard a kotu, and then I saw the smoke actually billow up. So that was pretty cool. When I called, I said, "Did you get him?" He goes, "He didn't run anywhere." He dropped him right where he stood. And we actually filmed that and showed that on the show, but pretty cool. We sat in there for 2 straight days, saw a lot of deer, nothing that he got a shot at, but pretty cool, the things that you remember, that you have something spark it. And this fog coming across this field today definitely sparked that memory. And I come here to pick him up later in the day, and it was getting close to the end of shooting time, maybe 15 minutes or so, and I heard kaboom, and the smoke was just billowing up from his muzzleloader. And I called him, and he was like, I got him, and he actually got him. He was a nice one, about a 130 class. The really cool part of this whole story is I was set up in a stand over there in that patch of woods the previous night. One day earlier, I was over there about 600-700 yards, and I had him come out, and I was hunting bow, and I shot right over top of his back, and you can see the Luminok arrow light up right over top of his back. And the very next night, my dad shot the same buck that I missed. So I was actually really happy. I wasn't happy when I missed, but I was really happy the next day when my dad got that deer, because I would rather have him kill the deer than me anyway. As I got older and hunted more with him on the trips that we used to take, we went to Newfoundland. I said, Dad, I want you to shoot the moose, and we'd go bear hunting in Maine, and he will always hunt first, and he'd end up getting a bear, and then I'd never get one. But you know what? It was a fantastic trip when he was successful, because he was just, you know, anybody that's seen him on the show, and especially that Bobcat. He would get the same way when he would shoot a bear. He would get the same way when he would shoot a deer, and it didn't matter if deer was an 80-pound doe. He was still absolutely fired up and psyched about that. So this is where it happened. I was sitting in the truck right here, right there, kaboom, and the smoke was billowing up, and I just couldn't be happier. But that's the memories out here. That's why I come out here every year. You know, having him pass away this year was tough, but every time I was out here over the last 3 or 4 years, I'd call him and tell him exactly where I got a coyote or a bobcat, and he would know. And you know, the one time I got a coyote right back there, right off of that edge, and I said, about 100 yards from where you shot the deer, Dad. And he's like, oh, that's awesome. So anyway, I thought I'd share that for you. We got a few more traps to check. Ain't much going on today. This rain, you can see it's just wet everywhere. All my sets are mud puddles, and the ones that aren't mud puddles are basically washed out, and it's just one of those things. We're pulling today. We had them in 4 nights. We did all right. We had 33 sets in, so got a few predators and got plugged up yesterday by the nest raiders, and today everything's swimming. So we'll head down, check the rest of our sets, and maybe actually have something. Well, it's the end of the line. 4 nights, 2 extremely cold nights, and 2 extremely wet nights. This is what we had all day. Swimming pools after swimming pools after swimming pools, and you don't even catch coons and possums in those. I mean, it's rained probably 2 inches in the last 2 days. It went from 0 degrees to over 50 degrees, and that makes it hard when you're trapping. But we had 4 nights, 3 predators, bobcat and 2 coyotes, and a half a dozen plus on the raccoons and the possums. So we got a few nest raiders out of the equation, took a couple coyotes, but you can just see here how this is just soaked. It's just running water on top. It's everywhere. Really nice area though. You can see how thick this is. This is definitely prime predator habitat. The river's just over there, about 300-400 yards, keeping them in on this side. We did have 3 set on the other side of the river. We had that coon over there, but you know, one of those things. It was one of those trips that didn't pan out the way we wanted it, but you know what? That's trapping. It's no different than hunting. You go deer hunting, you're not always going to get a deer. You go trapping, you're not always going to get what you want, and the weather plays a big part of that, and we just didn't have great weather. It was harder than hell. I actually only put 33 sets in. That's what I got in. Just pounding them in was just, it took way more effort and way more energy to pound them in. It just took longer to make the sets, so we didn't get the 50 to 60 sets in that I wanted to. But all in all, we're showing you the real stuff that's happening on the line. We're not sugarcoating it. We can make it look easy. We can show you only the sets that connect, but this is the stuff that you deal with right here, especially when you have to chop your sets in with a pickaxe. There's not much level ground at that point, but still a beautiful day. It's still raining. It's misty. It's a light rain now, but this is a really nice food plot or a good deer stand on it. And I'm sure those guys are probably going to see some deer in here when they come in to hunt next year. But appreciate you coming along. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot us an email. Check out our website, NorthAmericanTrapper.com. We've got pretty much anything that you need to get you being successful when you're out in the field. And as always, we appreciate you coming along for the ride, and we'll see you next time.
The brand is so much bigger than myself or anybody involved with what we're doing. It's the tradition of, it's that woodsmanship that these kids and even adults can learn just by being out there. That's what we're trying to do. Trying to get people involved, trying to get people to feel that. And every time you go out there with them, you're experiencing that outdoors through them. We're showing the simplicity of things, and we're trying to debunk a lot of those myths that maybe scares people away from doing it at times, thinking that, it's just too hard, there's too much into it. No, it's pretty easy, and we're going to show you how easy it is, and you're going to be able to go out and do it.
Get started trapping those problem animals and nest raiders today. Become the steward of your own land or lease. Visit NorthAmericanTrapper.com.